Yes, my dear friends around the globe, especially you that is in the diaspora or wherever you are around the world, dear friend, you are welcome back to the channel GH247. GH247. Everything happening around Ghana, in an entertainment world, in the political world, or what have you, or everything news in Ghana. GH247 is the channel. Dear friends, our new government has taken their, over in governance of the nation under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama. And as we speak, appointees are now beginning to take over their positions. He's just naming his appointees. Ministerial nominations are currently ongoing. Only 3 have been vetted so far out of possibly 60. Dear friends, now something is happening among the opposition. The opposition party, the New Patriotic Party, they are beginning to behave like the hen. They are beginning to behave in a way and manner in which sometimes you think of it, you wonder whether they actually understand why they lost power. New Patriotic Party, NPP, Nana Akuffo and his people, I am not too sure if they are still reasoning well. Communication director of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, made a statement regarding the LGBTQ issue. He says this, he said, don't shift the goalpost. Sign anti-gay bill without delay. And he had back to MAHAMA. I said it before, a few days back. I said this guy is a disgrace to we the Voltarians. He is a disgrace to Airways. Because Airways, we don't act this way. We think before we talk. Ayaba, Mahama should sign the anti-LGBTQ bill now without a delay. Where were you when your government was in power for 8 years? Even at the time that the court ruled and dismissed the application injecting the bill on the 18th of December, your president, Akuffo Addo, still was the president. Why didn't he sign before leaving power? Why I said you guys are losing your senses. Quickly, let me show you why. Thank God for my good friend. Thank God for my good friend, how do you call him? Thank God for Oliver Baka Vomo. Yes, I'm excited that the young lawyer put up a piece to remind the so-called NPP elite who don't have the senses to think properly again. He put up a piece, and I want to read for you. Why, for me, in my rightful senses, the NPP and the so-called, even the so-called lawyers among them are still not using their brain. Maybe the way they lost power, it made them to lose their senses. Honestly, this is what he said. He puts down point by point information on this LGBTQ saga. He said, under the Ghanaian constitutional law, when a bill is passed by parliament, the president has 7 days after the bill is presented to him to sign the bill or veto it. The president has 7 days to either sign the bill or veto it. Veto it simply means that he rejected a bill, that I will not sign it. 2, he said he may also refer it to the Council of State for advice. That is the president's prerogative. 3, after the family value bill was passed, the president refused to accept the bill when it was presented to him. He refused to accept it. Not that he even accepted it and maybe he didn't sign it or he vetoed it. No. He just refused accepting the bill in itself. All right. He claimed the matter was in court. The president then claimed that the matter was in court. And even though there was no court order preventing parliament to present the bill to him, he nonetheless refused to take the bill. 4, On December 18th, this year, December 18, 2024, the Supreme Court dismissed that lawsuit that Richard the Last Sky brought. Another stupid man from my own, my own region. Very stupid. Like I said, anyway, we don't behave this way. And the last guy. I don't know what the little they are getting from NPP is. Well, now 5. From the 18th December to 6th January, before President John Mahama was sworn in, nothing prevented the president to assent the bill if he so wished or wanted to do so. 6. However, having failed to do so, the term of parliament or the term of that parliament that passed the bill expired. At the midnight of that 6th January, the term of that parliament expired. And the bill it passed equally expired according to the law. As well as the bill in consideration expired. 7. Addo intended for the bill to expire and it did expire. 8. Meaning the process can only be started afresh. If that's what the sponsors want, every parliament is a new parliament. This parliament, the 9th parliament now is a new parliament. So if the sponsors want, they can present the bill back afresh, sponsored by the individuals. And like His Excellency James rightly said, it could be better. It will be better if the government itself, bring the bill back as government bill instead of private member bill. During that whole day, that whole 18-day period that Addo had, I heard not a single word. I heard not a single word from the governing or the government MPs. Baumia or any of the high-ranking NPP folks never spoke out during that period. During that 18 days period. None of them spoke out. Pressuring the president to sign the bill. No, none of them. If that's something they wanted, they would have put pressure or mount pressure on the president, Akuffo, to sign the bill at that period, at that moment. 10. So when today we hear some top opposition politicians from the NPP side, now they are in their position, now calling on President MAHAMA to sign the now expired bill. Does that make sense? You are now calling a president to sign the expired bill. I thought you guys says you are elite and you have big lawyers among you. 11. Which bill do they want the president to sign? Which bill do they have in mind? The expired bill? Should he sign the expired bill or he should just sign to the air? No, these are answers you guys need to provide. Dear friend, you see the arrogancy of the NPP. Too known, overknown. They believe they can talk. All they do, Afeni Markins will sit in the parliament and just talk anyhow. Yes, he thinks he's still in the majority. He doesn't know his position yet. Hey, Markin, you are now in a micro minority. You are not just a minority leader. You are a micro minority leader. Know your position. And like we always say, you can shout and shout, but definitely the government will have its way because we are the super majority. Super majority. Sit, get yourself a seat and relax somewhere with your arrogancy. The same arrogant posture by Akuffo is what led you guys to opposition. Few days back, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, before traveling abroad, visited a Boku, Naba, a conflict zone, where Akuffo visited once or twice throughout the 8 years period. Yet he could not achieve peace. But guess what? Each time Akuffo is going to visit any part of the country, he has his own private seat that is being carried around, fully air-conditioned. In a Land Cruiser with 2 men carrying it into a Land Cruiser, wherever he's traveling around Ghana. Even if he's leaving the Flagstaff house to another community just within Accra, they must carry that seat along. If he's going outside Accra, they'll fly that seat ahead of him. On arrival at the airport there, they'll use Land Cruiser fully aircon with 2 men plus the driver. Taxpayers' money. On your screen is a picture of Nana Addo and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama visiting the same chief in the same community. You will see Nana Addo with his seat flown from Accra to Boku, and you can also see JM sitting on the plastic chair that was offered him in the palace of the chief. JM sitting on the plastic chair offered to him in the same palace where Nana Addo visited some years back, but they've flown the seat. This seat, I'm not too sure what Ghana government needs to do with this seat. Maybe they have to auction it. They have to auction it. Maybe some millions of dollars can come out of it. Or we have to keep it in a museum. People will pay money to view it. It is taxpayers' money. You are visiting different states, different region, a chief or a king. You cannot, you don't trust them enough to provide you a befitting seat. Oh, they provided JM a plastic seat. He sat on it comfortably. Does that take away his authority as a president or the head of state of Ghana? This is the arrogancy of the New Patriotic Party government that just left power. And this is one of the reasons why they were voted out of power. Yet, they don't want to recognize that. Just look at the pictures on your screen. President Mahama sitting on a plastic chair. Quickly, another thing is, our head of state, His Excellency, JM, travel abroad. And we saw him, for the first time, seeing him, entering the flight and the flight taking off. It's noted that he's using his junior brother's private jet instead of Ghana's own, presidential jet that we have. And many are talking about it online. Many are talking about it. Especially from these same arrogant people. The same people that when Akuffo was chartering flights, $20,000 per hour, to London, to US, to Canada, to Australia, $20,000 per hour chartered flight. If the flight is 11 hours, multiply the $20,000 by 11 hours. He was being questioned. All the spokespersons could tell was that the president need to shower in a flight before arrival. That when the president is in the flight, he gets tired, and sometimes he need to shower himself and change his clothes before being welcomed by the invitee. So, for the luxury of the president to shower in the air before the flight lands, we spend the taxpayers' money to be chartering flights. You guys didn't see anything wrong with that during that period. Now the current president is using his own junior brother's private jet. President Mahama used his own junior brother, Ibrahim Mahama's private jet, for his travels, and you guys are trying to make hell loose. Hey, for your information, that private jet does not cost Ghana or Ghana government or Ghanaian taxpayer a dime. It is his own brother private jet. Worst case scenario, maybe the fuel that the jet is using. Now, listen to Felix Kwachifo's here, few seconds.
For a detailed report of the state of the communication squadron. The communication squadron is a unit within the Air Force that handles the presidential aircraft. So he has requested that they give him a brief on the states of the unit itself, that's the communication squadron, the planes under their control and whatever. That report is here to show time. So pending the receipt of that report,
you heard it for
the state
yourself.
of the aircraft and whatever. The president has been traveling
the
same way he was traveling. He has been using.
The president has been using this same jet even whilst he was in opposition before he was sworn in. He's been using his junior brother's private jet even whilst he was in opposition before he was sworn in. And before even the swearing in, he traveled abroad to invite some of the head of state and president. It was the same flight he used. And the reason is what Felix Fosu is giving us. The president communicated to the Ghana Air Force, who are in charge of the flight, the airline, to know the status of the flight. The president's office communicated with the Ghana Air Force, that are the managers of the presidential jet, that you want to know the state of the flight. Is it in good condition for his use? Is there anything that needs to be fixed? Or it's in good condition? Until now, there has not been any response from them. The president has no choice than to use his brother's flight, private jet. For his own safety, it is very important we take note of that. Oh, you guys think he will be a foolish man to just jump on board this flight? Whether you guys set it up to kill him in mid-air? No, he is smarter than that. Nobody is saying the president is not going to use the presidential jet, but he needs to be informed on the actual state of the jet. And using his own brother's jet, the Ghana government is not paying a dime. It's not costing the taxpayer a cent. So stop it and stop that arrogancy. When Addo was flying in a private jet all around the globe trotting, you never spoke up. Why now? Shut your beaks. I'll see you guys in the next one when you see me. Shalom.